mynews.studio.
Beneath the streets of Paris, the Seine quietly works as Europe's largest hidden air conditioner. The question is, can a city with so much history cool down without losing what makes it unique?
It's 2025, 1013. When you look at Paris, so dense and historic, with architecture people consider almost sacred, how does it even use a river to cool over 800 buildings, including the Louvre? How do you do that without changing how the city looks or feels?
The answer is a district cooling network, 110 kilometers long, all buried under Paris's most protected streets. Installing those pipes wasn't just another construction job. Every time they dug, they had to work around centuries-old structures, landmarks, archaeological layers, even existing telecom lines, just to avoid chaos above ground. It's a big challenge. How do you add modern systems to a city where even the underground is considered part of its heritage?
And the Seine itself, isn't it a UNESCO-protected river? Wouldn't that limit what engineers could do? They couldn't just make it deeper, right?
Exactly. The engineering team had strict limits. They couldn't change the river's depth or disrupt its ecosystem. That meant working with the shallow, cooler currents and building compact, powerful heat exchangers. The system basically works in reverse. It takes in cool water, absorbs heat from the buildings, then returns the water to the Seine, but only if it stays below 30 Celsius to protect fish and other aquatic life.
That sounds like a pretty narrow margin. Is overheating the river a risk, especially if they keep expanding the system?
It is a risk, so they monitor temperatures constantly. The system is closed loop, so only heat gets transferred, not pollutants. If the river's temperature gets close to the threshold, they reduce how much water they use or switch to backup sources, like geothermal wells. And since 2018, it's been carbon neutral. They're adding more renewables, too, to ease the load during heat waves.
Let's talk about the Louvre for a second. It needs 12 megawatts of cooling. Why not just use regular air conditioning there?
The Louvre's architecture is the problem. You can't hang AC units on centuries-old walls or risk damage from vibrations. The river-based system lets them connect almost invisibly. No construction mess, no visible change. The outcome is stable temperatures, no noisy equipment, and nothing cluttering up the public spaces.
So why is water so much better for cooling than air?
It's physics. Water is about 800 times denser than air, so it can hold and move heat far more efficiently. That means the system uses up to 50% less electricity and releases 90% fewer refrigerant gases compared to traditional AC. The environmental benefits are significant.
But can other cities actually do this? Paris has unique resources, and the legal framework is pretty specific.
It depends. You need a reliable water source, river, deep lake, or the sea, that stays cool and has enough volume. Urban density, preservation laws, and existing infrastructure all come into play. Cities like Toronto and Rotterdam use deep lakes. Places with newer infrastructure usually have an easier time, but it always comes down to regulation and funding. These systems take decades and need cooperation across sectors.
What about the people who live and work nearby? Does the cooling system change things for them, beyond just the buildings connected to it?
Definitely. Riverside neighborhoods are 2 to 4 degrees cooler than areas further inland during summer. That creates natural gathering spots, especially in heat waves. And because everything is hidden, no rooftop towers, no window units. The look of the city stays intact. It's both comfortable and visually unchanged.
So workers, residents, even hospitals feel the difference. Are there plans to connect more sensitive places?
Yes, the next stage targets retirement homes, schools, daycares, anywhere vulnerable people spend time. Server rooms and data centers are already connected, which helps lower the city's overall energy use.
There's a kind of irony. People once swam in the Seine to cool off, but pollution stopped that for years. Now the river is cooling both swimmers and whole buildings?
That's right. After years of cleanup, the Seine was clean enough for Olympic swimmers in 2024. Now it serves both recreation and cooling. Plus, every time workers lay new pipes, they document Roman ruins and medieval tunnels. So, the city's history is being preserved, even as it evolves.
So, is Paris's approach a model other cities should follow, or is it more of a special case?
It's a model, but not a universal one. Paris shows what's possible with patience, partnerships, and respect for both history and the environment. Expanding to 3,000 buildings proves it works, but the real lesson is about process, steady investment, strong regulation, and balancing heritage with sustainability.
The alternative, as city officials have warned, is that cities could become unlivable. Integrating natural resources with urban systems isn't just practical, it's essential.
The quiet current of the Seine now stands as an example for cities everywhere, showing you can keep comfort and culture together.
Thanks for listening as we explored how Paris transformed its river into a vital resource for the future.
Today, we traced how the Seine-powered cooling system tackled historic, technical, and environmental obstacles to deliver efficient and visible comfort, protecting both people and heritage.
And how, with enough resources and commitment, this approach could help cities everywhere face a warming world.
Thank you for tuning in. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.